This news update is brought to you by...
Say hello to Carol. Carol talks for a living, from morning till night. So she relies on Flow's crystal clear home phone service brought to her through Flow's 100% fiber to the home network. It keeps her in the know, and because she bundles her mobile broadband and TV services, she enjoys huge savings, so she can enjoy much more for much less. So visit any Flow retail outlet, call 1-800-804-2994, or visit discoverflow.co to find out more. One-of-a-kind connection. This is how we flow.
It's Friday, May the 13th, 2016, and this is your Barbados Today Morning News Update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. In our top story, Independent Christchurch West MP Dr. Maria Agard has torn into the no-confidence motion brought against the government by her former leader, Mia Motley. In a vicious attack on the leadership of both political parties, Dr. Agard, however, dismissed the motion tabled by Motley as futile and a reflection of what she termed the rabid, unrelenting, hasty, self-serving political opportunism that represents the DNA of the author of this document.
I have had to say, you can never be a government of one. You can be an opposition of one, but you could never be a government of one. And when you reach a point that even members of your parliamentary group you undermine and destroy, we ask the question, are we courting the devil? Sir, there are things for which I have labored upon for many months. And I am convinced in my spirit, sir, that in the realm of possibilities, you can wake a sleeping giant if you have to. But you could never sanctify a demon, even if you dress it in white.
The Friend Stewart administration has dumped the proposed $700 million Cahill Waste-To-Energy Project. Confirmation came last night from Minister of the Environment, Dr. Dennis Lowe, during debate on the opposition no-confidence motion against the government. Lowe had been under pressure from the opposition and other interest groups to abandon the project agreed to between the government and Cahill Energy in March 2014. He explained that the multi-million-dollar project was dropped because of the strong public outcry and the significant flaws in the waste-to-energy plasma gasification schemes.
The government of Barbados would have to be absolutely collectively mad to move ahead on an option where there is global evidence that there are flaws with the technology. So I assure the public today, the government ain't going nowhere with that option. It can't do it. Not after the fact that so many Barbadians made their voices heard and told their government, be cautious. Hold back on this thing. We don't understand it fully enough. Are there other options we can explore?
Minister of Education Ronald Jones has assured Barbados that plans are in the works to put an end to the ongoing impasse with the Barbados Union of Teachers. For months now, the BUT has been agitating for an audience with Jones to discuss pressing issues affecting its members, a meeting the minister has dismissed. Teachers are now on a work-to-rule, with the union threatening further action if it does not receive a favorable response to a letter dispatched to the Prime Minister Friend Stewart last Wednesday.
It is my firm belief that within the shortest possible time, the current impasse between the Barbados Union of Teachers and not necessarily the Ministry of Education, but I am there as part of the policy decision process, will be brought to an amicable close, and we can move on with giving light to education and giving light to educators. I promise this House to do everything decent that I have to do to ensure that this current disturbance finds rest in the graveyard of industrial relations. That is my promise, and in fact, we have mobilized internally of the ministry to ensure that this comes to an end.
However, Jones said he would not be harsh or critical of the stance currently being taken by the union and called for cooler heads to prevail on the issue.
I would encourage unions to not necessarily to go back to everything of the past, but to create an arena of reasonableness, an arena of sense. I don't let our personal issues taint the environment.
In sports now, former president of the Board of Control for Cricket in India, Shashank Manohar, has been elected unopposed as the first independent chairman of cricket's governing body, that's the International Cricket Council, or ICC. He will serve a 2-year term, an unpaid position, beginning with immediate effect. Senior sports editor Sharjah Agard assesses Manohar's way forward for the game.
The other things that I think perhaps would interest them more, or at least the the average cricket fan on the street doesn't pretty much care about board politics or ICC politics, but he wants to know how is this going to affect his team on the ground, whoever that team may be. So perhaps the FTP is going to be the big move. The restructuring of the FTP, making it a little bit more equitable than it is to start with, to try and balance things out and redress the imbalance that has been caused by just a few years of the Big Three proposals kicking in.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Welcome back with news from the region now. The Trinidad and Tobago government is planning to establish another law enforcement agency to deal with corruption and organized crime. The announcement came as an opposition senator claimed that the Strategic Services Agency, or SSA, had been acting illegally and has not contributed any intelligence that lead to a successful drug bust, something that is its primary function.
As the Attorney General wound up the Senate's debate of the SSA bill meant to give the SSA broader powers, he spoke of the need for what he called a better structure.
And in that regard, I'm very pleased to say that the Ministry of the Attorney General is specifically looking at the improved access to justice in the Caribbean work product, dealing with the establishment of an agency of government to be known as the Major Organized Crime and Anti-Corruption Agency.
He said, however, the SSA bill was the short-term solution. One opposition senator earlier said the SSA had failed in its original mandate. 1 ton
of cocaine found in a businessman's house on Monos Island worth $1 billion TT dollars. Wow. Right? The SSA didn't discover that.
Further fields now, Brazil's new interim president, Michel Temer, has addressed the nation after the Senate voted to back the impeachment trial of Dilma Rousseff. Temer has called for trust in the values of the Brazilian people and in the ability to rebuild the economy.
With my first words to the Brazilian people, is to say trust in me. The word trust means trusting in our values, in the values of our people, the vitality of our democracy. You may trust in our ability to recover the economy, in the potential of our country, in the country's institutions, both social and political, and together we will be able to face these challenges because it's a difficult moment.
And finally, this story. Serena Williams made herself ill after eating dog food hours before reaching the last 8 of the Italian Open. The world #1 tried a spoonful of food meant for her dog Chip before beating fellow American Christina McHale in straight sets in Rome. Well, that's news and sports, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. Also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Channel 99 on Flow TV and Mix 96.9 FM. Have a fantastic day.